Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. It is Tech for Senior. This is episode 151, February the 20th, 2023, soon to be season 4. Pretty close. Anyway, welcome. If you're listening to us on YouTube, thank you for coming. If you are listening to this as a YouTube short, just click the link and it'll take you right to the show. Speaking of the show today, we have an action-packed show. We'll be with you for about an hour. We're going to have all sorts of things to talk about. Bob will be talking about security. He's going to talk about desktops and how to change your windows. Mike, of course, here is going to talk on EV battery technology and all the new features as he's sitting there smiling as he's charging up his batteries. Hewie's going to tell us how to use Chat GPT. And then we're going to stop the live feed early today because I'm going to be talking about a brand new feature that just was announced about Starlink on Thursday of this week. And I have a video for you on that. And this is big time news, and I want to be able to show it to you today. So you can say you first saw it on Tech for Senior. We're then going to have Ray's music outro, our Q&A, followed by our premiere event. Now, all of those of you who saw the Saturday newsletter will know that in our premiere event today, and I'll be putting the link in the show notes as well, in the chat, and I'm going to be talking about how to make a movie with Google Photos. That's a interesting one. Ray's going to finish off his excuse me, he's going to finish off his third Plex server presentation, and Hewie's going to tell us how to make a GIF through PowerPoint. Remember that, Hewie? You told that was a that was a really good presentation. So really exciting, 3 really great topics today on our premiere event, and that will be at 1/2 the hour, just after our Q&A. So if you are, so please stick around for that. It'll come on, and of course it's taped, and if you can't make it, then you can watch it later. So that will, of course, be on our that'll be on our YouTube channel. Remind everybody that this coming Thursday we will be doing Tech for Senior live. We have some incredible news we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about Netflix and all the changes that are occurring. And I'm going to give you the Canadian experience because we're the first country that it's getting clobbered on. We'll talk all about that. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court decision this Tuesday, which may change YouTube, and YouTube may even not be here after the big court case on Tuesday. We'll talk all about that and the news about that. And then, and of course, Facebook, you're going to be paying $15 a month to, well, maybe $12 if you're in the United States to use Facebook. So what the heck's all this about? Well, listen on this Thursday, and we'll be talking about that on our show. And then Hewie and I, of course, what do we have on Thursday, Hewie?
I don't know. Maybe we ought to learn something about Chromebooks.
Learning, yeah, that'd be cool. Learning Chromebooks. We're going to have a really good session on that. I'll be talking about Google Docs, how to use Google Docs on a Chromebook, and also Chat GPT on a Chromebook. Hewie, you're going to be doing all the news reviews.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about a lot of the news stuff that's been out there about Chromebooks that we haven't had time to cover.
Yeah, so there's lots of stuff coming up, and that's right after our Tech for Senior live show. So that will be, so it's a busy week for us, but we should have lots of fun. I want to thank, I want to thank everyone for coming today and see how and we're going to have a busy show. I want to get going early. Hewie, any comments, questions, concerns?
Nope, just glad we're here, and happy President's Day.
All right, Bob, thank you for helping us early today with that presentation. How's your week gone?
Good. You have one presentation that you didn't announce.
Did I
that
miss
has
something?
to do with the new Bing with Chat GPT that I'll be demonstrating.
Oh,
which
that's
you can
right.
Also
Yeah.
put on your, if you're
It
using
is on my
Chrome
list.
or any, yep.
It is on my list. It's just my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. It's getting old, Bob. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. And of course, Bill James. How are you doing, Bill?
We're doing great.
We had a good session last Thursday. That was fun to see on the show. Yeah, it was a good show. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good show. Thanks. All right. And of course, Ray Baxter, are you shoveling snow or what the heck's going on in Pine, Arizona?
Yeah, the snow's still around a bit, but not as much as it could be. So we're doing all right. I went to my first air show yesterday. That was interesting. Have you ever been to the one in Buckeye when you were in Arizona? That's
No.
Very nice event.
Excellent. Excellent. The hordes have all left after the Super Bowl and the waste.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's back to normal.
Back to normal. Okay.
Whatever that is.
All right. And of course, Mike, your big presentation today. We look forward to that.
And I'll be putting a link in chat to the reference videos after it's done.
Excellent. Those of you who look at the Saturday newsletter would know that I feature a YouTube channel every week, and this week was those of you who saw and looked at the channel. It's about bald eagles, and the channel there's a webcam in a tree in Northern California, and they're following this pair of eagles, which have been there for 6 or 7 years. They're resident eagles in the area, and they're sitting on 2 eggs, and it's interesting to watch. The camera runs 24/7, and it's pretty interesting. And these 2 eggs are going to hatch, and there's going to be little ones. So if you're interested in eagles and you want to follow along, it's a very interesting channel. The links are all in our Saturday newsletter. So if you haven't signed up for our free twice weekly newsletter, you should do so, and you can do that at www.techforsenior.com. Hewie, just a comment about learning Chromebooks. Do we need to re-register? What are we going to do with register?
No, if they're registered, a reminder will go out today, and another one will go out on Wednesday or Thursday morning. And if you're already registered, you don't have to register again. It'll be the same link that you received, and you'll get a reminder with the link.
Excellent. Okay, super duper. So, and you can register on techforsenior.com, right? At our website.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, hopefully to see everything. I think it's going to be a good show this Thursday about Chromebooks. All right, Bob, let's get going because we have a busy morning here. So let's get going with your segment.
Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending February 17th, 2023. Stalkerware type app developers fined by New York Attorney General. Stalkerware is a huge problem when it comes to intrusion into people's personal lives. Friends, strangers, family members, abusive spouses, and many more can potentially dabble in this maligned pastime and cause all manner of trouble for their target. Thanks to the New York Attorney General's office, some folks will shortly be made aware of a little extra something lurking in their devices, after it landed a developer with a $410,000 fine and a requirement to notify people that their devices are running monitoring software. Read more at Malwarebytes Labs. Apple's iOS, iPadOS, macOS, and Safari under attack with new zero-day flaw. Apple on Monday rolled out security updates for iOS, iPadOS, macOS, and Safari to address a zero-day flaw that it said had been actively exploited in the wild. Tracked as CVE 2023-23529, the issue relates to a type confusion bug in the WebKit browser engine that could be activated when processing maliciously crafted web content, culminating in arbitrary code execution. The iPhone maker said the bug was addressed with improved checks, adding it's aware of a report that this issue may have been actively exploited. An anonymous researcher has been credited with reporting the flaw. If you haven't updated your devices, do it now. Read more at the Hacker News. Namecheap email system hacked. Customers receive phishing scam. Domain registrar and hosting service Namecheap's customers got an unexpected message from the company this weekend informing them that they need to pay a $6.95 fee to complete a DHL parcel delivery. However, the message is a phishing scam made to look real using the official Namecheap.com domain. Discerning users spotted the phishing email and reached out to Namecheap CEO Richard Kirkendall via Twitter. The company chief replied that the company was looking into the issue and shared a cyber news story that reported an API leak involving third-party email clients MailChimp, Mailgun, and SendGrid, alluding that this incident may be connected to the phishing scheme. Read more at Review Geek. Microsoft releases patches for 3 actively exploited Windows vulnerabilities. Microsoft on Tuesday released security updates to address 75 flaws spawning its product portfolio, 3 of which have come under active exploitation in the wild. The updates are in addition to 22 flaws the window maker patched in its Chromium-based Edge browser over the past month. Out of the 75 vulnerabilities, 9 are rated critical and 66 are rated important in severity. 37 out of the 75 bugs are classified as remote code execution flaws. 3 are zero-day exploits that have been exploited in the wild. Again, if you have not updated your system, do it ASAP. Read more at the Hacker News. Expert warn of ℎ𝕝𝕝, a new evasive malware that can fly under the radar. Cybersecurity researchers have unearthed a new piece of evasive malware dubbed ℎ𝕝𝕝 that's designed to fly under the radar and drop additional payloads onto a compromised host. It seemed as if the authors of this malware were trying to implement as many anti-debugging and anti-VM, anti-sandbox techniques as they could find. Minerva Labs researcher Natalie Zargarov said, one such technique involves delaying execution through the use of the ℎ𝕝𝕝 API function, hence the malware's name. Read more at the Hacker News. Emsisoft says hackers are spoofing its certs to breach networks. A hacker is using fake code-signed certificates impersonating cybersecurity firms Emsisoft to target customers using its security products, hoping to bypass their defenses. In a new security advisory, Emsisoft warned that one of its customers was targeted by hackers using an executable signed by spoof Emsisoft certificate. The company believes this was done to trick the customer into thinking any detection were a false positive and to allow the program to run. Read more at Bleeping Computer. Ransomware gang uses new zero-day to steal data of 1 million patients. A prolific ransomware operation is back with old tricks and new victims. Community Health Systems, one of the largest healthcare providers in the United States with close to 80 hospitals in 16 states, confirmed this week that criminal hackers accessed the personal and protected health information of up to 1 million patients. As a result of the security breach experienced by Fortra, protected health information and personal information of certain patients of the company's affiliates were exposed by Fortra's attacker, according to the filing by Community Health Systems, which was first spotted by databreaches.net. The healthcare giant added that it would offer identity theft protection services and notify all affected individuals whose information was exposed, but said there had been no material interruption in its delivery of patient care. Read more at TechCrunch. This week's must-read on the Avast blog. Read Avast's article on smishing, the elephant in the room. Be vigilant and cautious when receiving text messages from unknown or unexpected sources. Read the article at the link listed, or watch my video on this topic at the YouTube link listed. Did you know Samsung was founded as a grocery store back in March 1st, 1938. ℍ𝕑𝕂𝕑 was almost the name of eBay, but the domain name ℍ𝕑𝕂𝕑.com was already registered by a mining company, so the company's owner simply shortened the ℍ𝕑𝕂 term to eBay.com. In advertisements for the iPhone, the time is almost always set to 9:41 a.m., which was the time of day that the original iPhone was introduced to the world by Steve Jobs. Just thought you might want to know. And that wraps up another week of the Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. So here's the question. Your computer or laptop's desktop, do you like it cluttered or icons all over the place, which makes it easy to get to those folders, files, videos, whatever you have on top of your desktop? Or do you prefer it uncluttered, where the only thing you see is whatever image you chose as the background for your desktop? What if you can have both? Let me show you how. Originally, this is probably how desktop looks. Under View, Show Desktop. This is the default. If you don't want to see all those things on top of your desktop and just want to see the image, right-click on any empty spot on your desktop and select View, and this time Uncheck, and you now have an uncluttered desktop. But what about all those icons you're accustomed to accessing? Well, there's an easy way to get to them. Remember, the desktop is nothing but a folder. So if you come down to where the folders are, in my case, I have pinned desktop to my folders. So I do a right click, and there's desktop. Select it, and here are all the things that were on the desktop, easily accessible. I have the folders up on top, and then I have all the other things easily available to me. I arrange them. View, I have it as large icons. And the sort, I have it more type and ascending. And under group, I have it by type. And that's how they're arranged. So that makes it easy for me to get to any of the things that are on the desktop if I need to. But when I don't need it, just close the folder and my desktop is nice and uncluttered, and I just look at the picture I chose for the desktop. So it's the best of both worlds. Again, the desktop is nothing but a folder. So why not use it like you do all the other folders in Windows Explorer? Give it some thought. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. That's good news, particularly if you're going to make a presentation, because you often want to get rid of all those cluttered desktops. You know, a nice clean desktop if you're going to record your screen, eh?
Mine's clean all the time.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot. That's good news. All right, Mike, we're all ready. I'll be playing your playing your video. Hey, my car's coming 2 weeks. I'm going to be able to tell everyone about it. So EV coming. All right, let's share your screen, and we'll see where we go.
Hi, I'm Mike Ungerman of the Central Florida Computer Society. Today we'll continue with the fourth in a series on electric vehicles. In our previous presentations, we've reviewed the technology of electric vehicles, or EVs, and how batteries and EVs work with a focus on lithium-ion batteries. Today we're going to take a look at the way ahead in batteries for EVs, improving how lithium-ion batteries are made and packaged, as well as the chemistry to produce alternatives that are more efficient and safer to use. Lithium-ion batteries are the most common in EVs today. And like this battery pack from Tesla, they're most commonly used type of battery in electric vehicles due to their high energy density, lightweight, and long life. However, there are some risks associated with the use of these batteries. There is a potential of thermal runaway resulting in explosion and/or fire. Lithium-ion batteries are prone to thermal runaway, a situation in which the battery begins to rapidly increase its temperature due to an internal chemical reaction. This can occur when the battery is overcharged, short-circuited, exposed to extensive temperatures, or damaged in some way. Thermal runaway can cause the battery to swell, leak, and even catch fire, posing a significant risk to users and property. To prevent thermal runaway, lithium-ion batteries must be designed and manufactured with careful attention to safety protocols. Battery manufacturers must also ensure that their batteries are properly tested and certified to meet industry standards. Exposure to water, if damaged, resulting in hard-to-control fires. Fires can erupt from water intrusion of lithium-ion battery packs due to accidental damage or exposure to water from floods and major storms. The chemistry of batteries containing lithium-ion have this inherent risk. Also, the potential to lose capacity over time. Another concern with lithium-ion batteries is the potential for them to lose capacity over time. This is caused by the repeated charging and discharging of the battery, which can cause the cells to degrade. This can lead to reduced performance and range, as well as increased charging time. I'll move my mouse over this graph, and you can see that the vertical axis is percentage of charging range, and then mileage in kilometers. So we start off here at 0 kilometers and 100% of battery range. The running average is this red line, which really isn't that bad overall, coming down to approximately 95% up to 100,000 kilometers. But it does show in the scattergram what the decline in the battery range would be over time. The next several slides focus on alternatives that are either in production today or being planned for 2023 and 24. The battery pack you see here is made by Toyota using solid-state technology. Solid-state batteries, although still of lithium-ion chemistry, offer a number of advantages. They can be made much thinner and lighter. They have a much higher energy density, storing more energy in the same size, allowing more range on a single charge. Solid-state batteries also charge much faster, and they're more durable and can withstand extreme temperatures and vibration, lowering some of the risks we looked at of using lithium-ion batteries in EVs. Lithium-sulfur batteries, they're coming and they'll be on sale soon. Sony claims the new technology will have a 40% higher energy density and lower production costs than today's lithium-ion batteries. There are issues as the electrodes degrade too fast at the moment for commercial applications, but a number of institutions are working on a solution for this stumbling block. Lithium sulfur might be sort of a halfway house replacement for lithium-ion rather than a radical successor, but it is on the way and it will be a significant improvement. Zinc iron batteries. They're under development with a non-combustible water-based electrolyte solution. The active materials used in zinc-ion batteries are very energy dense, allowing for sufficiently high energy to be stored. The manufacturing of zinc-ion batteries can be scaled up from current lithium-ion manufacturing processes, since it doesn't require the strict controls over lithium's processing. This allows for the conversion of existing processes and shortens the time from manufacturing to consumer. The batteries have a longer service life than lithium-ion, resulting in a far lower cost of storage. The following several slides look into the forecast for battery technology over the next several years. Some may never see production, but are tempting. Aluminum air batteries. They're a viable technology, but they're a primary battery and it doesn't recharge. Consider it like your flashlight battery. An aluminum air battery relieves the hassle of finding a charging station. They have a very high energy density, 8 to 9 times greater than current lithium-ion batteries. It's estimated that an aluminum air battery pack in an EV would last about 5,400 miles. Swapping out a depleted aluminum air battery for a recycled one is much cheaper than the cost of swapping out a Tesla battery. And the replaceable parts needed are the aluminum plates, which can be 100% recycled. You pay only for the miles you drive. Is this better than lithium? Redox flow batteries may be in the far future for EVs. Redox flow battery science is already sound and in production, but for large-scale power storage. If developed to smaller form factors, they could have significant effects for electric vehicles in terms of improved energy density, safer operation, battery life, and cost. Other similar flow design batteries are also in play. One uses organic compounds to replace scarce vanadium in present designs. Aluminum graphite batteries. So here we're using aluminum in a slightly different form. Stanford University has created an aluminum battery that could slash charging times. For example, a smartphone could take a full charge in just 60 seconds, and a car could charge in minutes. Wouldn't that be interesting? With an aluminum negatively charged cathode and a graphite anode, it's safe, lightweight, and it does have the potential for improved energy density. Unfortunately, the development isn't even close to a perfect, commercially viable aluminum graphite battery, but it could be one to watch in the future. As I researched YouTube videos for supporting battery technology, I added them to a playlist to share with our viewers. This is an active list with videos relating to today's presentation at the top of the list chronologically. They will update as I discover and add new ones. Feel free to browse them at your leisure. The URL, I use bit.ly/EV-batteries. And this will be published in future issues of the Tech for Senior newsletter. So that's bit.ly/EV-batteries. So, although lithium-ion batteries are the mainstay of today's EV technology, alternatives do exist today, which are appearing in 2023 EV production, and more are being developed for 2024 and beyond. Keep in mind, as fantastic as the future technology seems today, remember that a lot of yesterday's science fiction is now science fact. My next videos will focus on the charging of your EV, including charging at home, charging at commercial charging stations, and even swapping out your entire battery pack on a regular basis when it needs charging.
Thanks, Mike. That was that's good Lots of choices. I wonder if my new car will have the solid state lithium-ion battery pack. I don't know.
Well, when you mentioned that you only drive 3,000 miles a year, you could get one of these swappable battery packs and swap it out once a year and never charge your car otherwise.
Hey, exciting times, exciting times. Speaking of exciting times, Hewie, are you ready to show us Chat GPT?
I am. Mastering Chat GPT, 3 key strategies for improved results in your conversations. I'm Hewie Poplock. Are you struggling to get answers you need from Chat GPT? Don't worry, I've got you covered with some helpful tips to make the most of this powerful AI chatbot from OpenAI. Chat GPT has become incredibly popular among people from all walks of life, including teachers, lawyers, programmers, and content creators, as it's an all-in-one tool for tackling problems that can be expressed in words. However, randomly throwing questions at ChatGPT won't guarantee you get amazing results that others have experienced. To get the most out of ChatGPT, you'll need to try some of these helpful techniques. Describe a preferred complexity of response. Although ChatGPT is highly intelligent, it has limitations in understanding certain requests that human could grasp easily. If you encounter a scenario where ChatGPT fails to provide a satisfactory answer or declines to respond altogether, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's incapable of providing a correct answer. It could simply be due to the phrasing of the question being incomprehensible to ChatGPT. In such situations, try rephrasing the question multiple times until you obtain a suitable response from ChatGPT. Let's take a look at some examples. I'm logged into OpenAI.com. I also am logged into my account, and let's take a look at describing a preferred complexity of response. First, let's try, what are the key features and benefits of cloud computing, and how does it differ from traditional IT infrastructure? And it completes our conversation. I'm not going to read this all to you, but you can get an idea what it's doing and how it's saying it. Just take a look at a couple of the items as it's printing. Okay, next, what we're going to do is we're going to describe it a little bit better. We're going to have the same question, but this time we're going to say, explain it like I'm a 5-year-old. So we put at the end of it, explain like I'm a 5-year-old. It's saying basically the same thing, but in a much different tone and language. Let's try it one more time, but this time we're going to say explain in football terms. Again, it's basically the same answer, but in a different context and more in tune to maybe what your audience or what you need to have in your explanation. So you want to describe a preferred complexity of response, or all kinds of things that you could ask it to do. Get industry-specific or niche response. Since Chat GPT is designed to be a versatile chatbot, its responses may be generalized and include words or concepts that are not relevant to your specific context or niche of interest. However, with a few adjustments, you can fine-tune ChatGPT's responses to align with a particular industry, niche, or profession. For instance, if you're discussing the legal profession, you may want ChatGPT to use legal terminology instead of everyday language. To achieve this, you can prompt ChatGPT to adopt a legal persona and provide further instructions that are specific to the legal industry. This will enable ChatGPT to provide context and industry-specific responses, making the conversation more relevant and informative. Get industry-specific or niche response. Let's try this statement. Just in general, describe the health aspects of a smartwatch. And this is a very general response to that comment. The next way we're going to approach this is by saying, I want you to answer as a doctor. So it's in much more medical terms and talking about it from the medical point of view. Our next try with using the same idea, but instead of a doctor, this time we're going to be asking for it to be answered like a computer nerd. It's in a much more technical aspect as opposed to it being a medical or just a general description. When using ChatGPT, not only can it simulate an entity, it can also generate responses in various styles. The possibilities are endless and entirely up to your imagination. For instance, you can prompt it to compose a poem in the Shakespearean language, or ask it to craft a song imitating the style of your preferred musician or songwriter. Get ChatGPT to respond in specific styles. The first one we're going to say is, let's ask it to write me a happy birthday poem. Very nice, very general. Let's try it next in the style of Shakespeare. And as you can see, it's, as you read it down, it's much as if it were written by Shakespeare. Let's try one more style. Let's have a happy birthday poem in the style of a limerick. And you can see a much different way of looking at that same question and getting a much different response, yet a very good one. At times, ChatGPT may encounter prompts that require lengthy responses, and as a result, the response may get truncated midway. To resolve this issue, a straightforward solution is to prompt ChatGPT with the phrase continue for regular text or continue code for an incomplete code block. This will enable Chat GPT to continue generating a complete response without any interruptions. Our fourth or bonus prompt is prompt Chat GPT to continue. Let's pick this particular question. What's the difference between a Mac computer and a PC? And as you can see, it tells us many things. But let's say it's, we really need a much longer question than that. So all we have to do is type in continue. And it picks up right from where we were and adds more information to our article. So use the continue to make your article longer. To sum up what I've been talking about, get creative to enjoy Chat GPT. One of the best things about Chat GPT is there are no hard rules. You don't necessarily have to follow a rigid formula to use the AI chatbot. How much you can utilize the chatbot boils down to how creative you can get with your prompts. Well, you're welcome to use all of the hacks that I've mentioned. You'll need creativity to solve your own unique problems using Chat GPT. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Hewie. That's cool. I learned a lot. Thank you so much for doing that. Bob, now you're going to tell us how to get it. You're going to tell us how to get Chat GPT for free.
Let me add one thing to Hewie's. Elaborate is another excellent thing. If you have it give you a short summarization of just say elaborate, and it will spell it out for you in detail.
Thank you.
Yeah, and don't worry about, try different things.
Yep. Use it as a tool. So yesterday, when I opened up my Edge browser and I did my usual check at the new Bing search tool to see whether or not I'd be greeted by the usual message, "You're on the waiting list," I got pleasantly surprised because when I highlighted that Bing icon, guess what? I now have the new Bing search engine with Chat GPT built in. And as you can see, when I do highlight this, it opens up this new window. And from here, I can chat, I can compose. And as it says here, ask me anything. There are restrictions because Chat GPT only works through information gathered up through the end of 2021. So if you want something that happened after that date and you get an actual answer, it's probably not a true one. Up till 2021, this thing works like a charm and has lots of information and makes life a whole lot easier for you. But if you need information for something that happened after 2021, this doesn't have that information available. Keep that in mind when you use it. There's also a change in the actual search bar in Edge. You'll see recent searches, but I can also put in what's new in Bing. And you have an answer, but you have lots of other things that you can choose from. This is just a search result, and it incorporates some of the features of Chat GPT. But you do have the chat feature. You can also do shopping or get images or videos or maps and more. But the biggest added feature is, of course, the chat feature. Put it in, and this opens up Chat GPT right in your search box. Just thought you might want to take a look at what's new in Bing search in the Edge browser. But you can also add that Bing feature to a different Chromium-based browser. Let me show you how to do that. In this case, I've opened up the Chrome browser. Next, select the three-dot menu, select Settings. Now go down to Search Engine. That's, of course, set to Google. That's the default search engine in the Chrome browser. but use the pull-down menu and select Bing. Before we do this, let me go back and put this back into Google. Let me show you what my normal home screen looks like. This is the default. Now we're going to change this thing over to Bing search engine to get the advantages of that Chat GPT being added within the Bing search, but it will change your default home screen in your Google Chrome browser. So let's go back into the three-dot menu, back to settings, back to search, and change this to Bing. Now, let's go to a new tab, and you notice home now looks like this. It no longer has what you originally had. Yes, you still have some shortcuts on the bottom that you set up, but they're not the same as they were when you had it set for the Google search. You are now using Microsoft's Bing search, and this is your new home page. If you're not signed into your Microsoft account, you will at this point have the option. I've already signed in because I'm using Bing. I might as well get the points when I do a search. As you see here, starts off with Ask Me Anything, and that is Chat GPT. That's the change that will occur if you decide to make Bing your default search engine on a different Chromium-based browser. As you can see, it's now available on other Chromium-based browsers, not just Edge. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. Very interesting. Thank you so much for doing that. Now we're going to finish off with our YouTube feed because I have a video I want to play for everyone. So the YouTube feed, if you're over there watching, thank you so much for coming. We will see you next week, same time, same place. If you want to come over here to our show on YouTube or on Zoom, come on over and we'll let you in for the final part of the presentation and also Ray's music. And lots more about that. Ray, are you ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm going to go out and buy a yacht tomorrow.
Yeah, well, or when you go with Bob on his cruise, you know, you're going to have some pretty cool internet coverage.
It sounds that way. All right,
Yeah.
let's get moving. I know we're running a little, and I've
Yeah,
lost
we got lots of time. Don't worry
connection
about
a
it.
couple of times this morning, so hopefully we'll be good for the next 5 minutes. Okay, I need to. You have to help me share, Ron.
Oh, did I not make you? I thought I made you co-host. All right, just hold on.
Okay.
Sorry.
He went off. He went off. Like
Oh,
I
you
did.
made it. Oh, you came
twice,
back
so
on. Oh, okay.
that's why.
There you go, Ray.
Sorry. Okay. All right, Burt Bacharach and Dionne Warwick. Now, Burt Bacharach was one of the most accomplished and influential composers of popular music in the 20th century. He wrote hundreds of songs, most in collaboration with a lyricist, Hal David, that became classics of the pop music genre. Bacharach was born on May 12, 1928 in Kansas City, Missouri. He grew up in New York City, served in the Army during World War II, and then moved to Los Angeles to pursue a career as a songwriter and pianist. It was in the 1960s that Bacharach's career took off when he started writing songs that today we consider classics. These include The Look of Love, What the World Needs Now Is Love, and I Said a Little Prayer, just to name a few. His influence on popular music continued up until his passing in Los Angeles on February 8th at the age of 94. Now, Dionne Warwick was born into a musical family, as several members were part of the gospel group known as the Drinkard Singers. It was in 1961 at the famed Brill Building on Broadway in Midtown Manhattan where Bacharach and Warwick first met. She was singing background vocals during a Drifters recording session for the song Mexican Divorce, co-written by Bacharach. He hired her to record demos featuring songs written by him and the aforementioned Hal David that they could then pitch to record labels. Now, she ranks among the 40 biggest U.S. hit makers between 1955 and 1999, just based on her chart history on Billboard's Hot 100 Pop Singles chart. The song Alfie was written by Bacharach and David to promote the 1966 film of the same name. This song became a major hit for Dionne Warwick, garnering a Grammy nomination in the category of Best Vocal Performance Female. On learning of the passing of her longtime collaborator, Warwick said, quote, "On the lighter side, we laughed a lot and had our run-ins, but always found a way to let each know our family, like roots, were the most important part of our relationship," unquote. So I've shortened this undated video clip that features Mr. Bacharach and Miss Warwick, but intentionally kept the warm words exchanged by these two longtime friends.
Great. Thanks, Ray. That was amazing.
And Burt Bacharach, 94 years old when he passed away earlier this month.
Yes, quite a musician and an amazing, I guess, writer.
He wrote most of all the music, and Hal David was the lyricist who wrote most of the words.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That's great. And it's top of the hour. Another show has gone by. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We will be moving now to our question and answer period. But before we do, just to remind everybody, this show this Thursday, our Tech for Senior live show, we're going to have all sorts of really interesting topics to talk about, and why you're going to be paying for Facebook. So come and listen on Thursday, and we'll have a great show for you. Don't forget learning Chromebooks. If you have a Chromebook, you're thinking about a Chromebook, you want to learn something about Chromebooks or how to use Google Docs, come and listen to us on this Thursday. Don't forget our Premiere service coming up shortly. If you want to make some movies out of your Google Photos, learn more about a Plex server, or of course create animated GIFs, it's all there today at 1/2 on our Premiere service. I've put the link in the chat a few times. We covered a lot of topics today. Lots of good stuff to talk about. If you have any questions, we're all ears. Though everyone here that was a presenter has certainly all got is here. So we're welcome to open it up for any questions. Greg, go ahead.
Hey, I'm just wondering, do you get a loan for those little boats?
No, but I think, of course, those are all going on shift as we speak. So you can imagine the difference. When Bob went on his cruise lately, I think we paid $300 for his internet, but that's partly because it cost that ship $100,000 a month to have that service. So this is now going to be dropping down to $5,000 a month with even better coverage and better service. So I hope we give Bob a refund on his next trip he goes on, and he doesn't have to pay $300, right? Anne Marie, go ahead.
Hello, I wanted to say that a lot of the big cruise lines are already using Starlink, and most of the others are going to join in. Royal Caribbean, Celebrities, Hurtigruten, and Sea Dream yachts are already using it now. And the big ones like Carnival, Princess, Seabourn, P&O, Costa, and Cunard are all going to join this year and all going to use it. Going to be such an improvement.
Yeah, I think everybody will. I mean, it's just the announcement was it's global coverage, and bingo, they have enough satellites up that it is global coverage, even in the Arctic.
Hey,
poles.
Ron,
So,
what's happening
Ron,
to your voice?
your mic has got a problem.
really? Can you hear me now?
No, your mic is having a problem.
You're breaking up.
It's muddled.
Muddled. Is that any better?
No.
We'll see.
No.
We'll see. Carl has his
Just a
hand
minute.
up.
Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, I'm blown away by all of the presentations today. My cup fulleth over with information. and we're all tech geeks, so you just can't say what was the best, frankly. I wanted to comment on Mike Ungerman's presentation on the batteries, and that was very, very good overview. And I was thinking of all the problems of potential storage and whatever, and I thought, you know, there's another technology out there that eliminates all those problems. It's called gasoline.
Indeed. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is better.
Okay, there you go. Yes, Carl, thank you. Anne-Marie, just come back to what I was, the interesting thing about this is that, of course, is the global coverage. So the ships, and this is of course, because of the number of satellites that Starlink has had. They keep launching 20 or 30 each week, and they've got to the number now where they can provide even on the North and South Pole. So the ships, whereas before had to use VSAT for part of their transiting, now will be able to use Starlink for the whole, for all their connections, and that's just going to be massive. I just want to make sure they don't charge $300 anymore for a 2-week cruise for internet. They should be, because their costs are going to drop like so much. You can imagine $100,000 a month per ship, and if you've got 30 ships, that's a lot of money to pay for internet, right? So you're right, Anne-Marie. Everyone's going to convert. This is a big announcement, and for those of you who are interested in maritime stuff, then you should, I put ℏ𝕚𝕚, and he was featured in one of our newsletters, and the link there. It's a very interesting channel to follow along.
Celebrity had made.
I was going to say the signal was always so dicey, as
Yes,
Bob
right.
knows too, in and out,
That's right.
and very slow, and also very expensive. So yeah,
Celebrity had made the announcement right at the time that I was aboard the ship that they were signing up with Starlink.
Right.
And I wish they had it back then. It would have been a hell of a lot cheaper.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
it'd be so great. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So Hewie, go ahead. Thank you so much. That was so good. I love using Chat GPT, and I learned so much.
You're welcome. I enjoyed doing that, and I learned as I went through it myself that there's just having it there. You want to play with it, you don't know quite how to use it or what to ask or what to do. And I thought I'd give some suggestions. But my comment has to do with what Mike said in the chat box. He talked about comparing the Starlink and fiber optics or fiberglass connections in his neighborhood. Well, the whole idea of Starlink is not for him. It's for people in areas that don't have access, like Bob, that could utilize it, or people out at sea that didn't have anything before or had such an extreme expensive system as VSAT that it's now available to the average person.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Exactly. Absolutely. Murray, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention something. I did something interesting with Chat GPT. My ancestors on my father's side are from an area in northern Sweden called Lycksele. I asked Chat GPT to write a nice story about that area at the end of the 1800s. It concluded with the rich soil resulted in a very thriving agricultural industry. There was lots of industry, and people were generally very well off. I then just added, please make it historically factual. The result was that the soil was poor. There was very little industry, resulting in most people living near poverty, which explains why so many people from there emigrated to Canada and the United States around 1900.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Yes, lots of interesting. We'll be talking about using Chat GPT on a Chromebook this Thursday as well.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. So be sure and come. We'll be, so lots of exciting things happening. Any other questions? Anybody else got any comments? All right. Well, if don't forget, we have our premiere service starting in about 15 minutes. Please watch that. We'll see everybody back again, same time, same place next week. George Bowden from Victoria Computer Club will be talking on Raspberry Pi. Now, that's not something you eat. Let me give you a clue on that. It's not a pie. It's not a cooking show. We're going to be talking about a new type of computer that you can have a lot of fun with. And he's going to explain all that stuff. And then we're going to have, again, a great program with lots of interesting things to talk about. So we look forward to next week. And then the following week, I get the week off. You know, Hewie's back and he's going to be running the show again. So we look forward to that.
And I have a new UPS, so I hopefully don't lose
Hopefully
connection.
things go well. That's
And
right.
where are you going, Ron?
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be there in the background making sure Huey does it correctly.
Oh, okay.
But
He's standing over me with a whip.
I'm hanging over Huey. We've got a little OJT here. But I want to take some time off this summer when my children come back. They're coming we're having a big reunion, and I want to take a few weeks off. So Huey will be taking over in those times. So
And next week is summer.
it is. So, well, I don't know. It's going to freeze up here in Comox, so I don't know what you're going to do in Victoria there.
We're going to freeze too.
Are you? Yes, it's going to get a little cold. Yeah. All
But
right.
then I'm stuck inside with COVID anyway.
All right. So, all right. Well, that's good. Thanks everyone for coming. We'll see everyone next week or this Thursday or for Learning Chromebooks. Thanks everyone for coming. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.